Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy, fantastic Friday to each and every one of you. Listen, I don't know where you are right now, but where I am here in Maryland, it is 87 degrees and it's hot. So y'all forgive me for the tank top. You know, I got the arms out and all of that good stuff, but it's hot. And this glistening on my face, I got this just from walking out the house and coming over here to the driveway to get in my truck. Okay, that's how hot it is. And the humidity is just stifling. So I said, you know what? Today we got to be comfortable. So hopefully, I tried to turn my AC down so you can't hear the fan that much, and I don't want it to be disruptive, but the sisters got to be cool. Okay, so let's jump on into today's video because I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight. And y'all, let me tell you something. I'm gonna spend the rest of this weekend just chilling. And when I say chilling, what I really mean is working on my business. Y'all have no idea the stuff that's coming down the road. You just don't. But I want you to stay tuned because I don't want you to miss it. Now, today's topic is working through resentment and anger. We're going to talk about how to work through resentment and anger. And you know, the reality is that there are a lot of people who right now are dealing with resentment and anger. And I think I've shared with you all before, it may have been a while, but I shared with you all before a story where my first breakup, y'all had my first breakup, my first heartbreak, I should say. I was in my 30s. And honey, I thought it was the end of the world. Lord have mercy, I thought it was the end of the world. But you know, I would say for a good 8, maybe 10 years, I resented him. Resented. And when I talk about anger, I'm talking about anger was turned up to 1,000. Just the thought of mention or someone mentioning his name, not necessarily his name, but his name, because there are other people that have that name, would just make my blood pressure boil. You hear what I'm saying? That's how much I resented him. Do you know I had many times where I laid awake and I envisioned him walking across the street and myself running him down. And that's horrible, it really is. But that's just how much resentment and anger I had. And then one day I woke up and I was doing something, and that little voice said, Michelle, it's time to let it go. I said, okay, Lord, I hear you, but what am I letting go? So a couple of hours went by, and then it was revealed to me that I had to let go of that anger and that resentment that I had for him. Why? Because that man had moved on with his life. Probably wasn't even thinking about me. Excuse me, y'all, because my sinuses are draining and I'm still getting over this cold. But I realized I had to let it go because all it was doing was eating away at me. It didn't affect him because he didn't know how I felt anyway. But it was eating away at me, and it was making me become a person that I didn't recognize anymore. It made me become that person that didn't want to open up to anybody else for fear of being hurt again. And it made me become that kind of a person that I was going to get you before you got me. You know what I mean? And that's just never been me. So we're going to talk about dealing with resentment and anger. So let's define resentment and anger. So resentment is a negative feeling towards someone or something that emanates from the past. Anger is an emotional response to a real or imagined injustice. Mark Twain once said, anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Y'all, let me tell you something. That should shout you right there. I'm going to say that one more time. Quote by Mark Twain. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. That's powerful. And all of this will be in the description box. Most often, anger is a secondary emotion. It can come about due to something or someone that evokes feelings of hurt, fear, excuse me, and or inadequacy in us. Which is why I talked about having anger towards someone who had hurt me. There was no fear there, but there definitely was a hurt there that invoked that feeling. So here are some ways that you can get over your resentment. And I'm going to share with you 8 things, a bonus that I'm going to let you be. Number 1, I said accept your feelings and emotions. Give yourself permission to really feel those negative emotions such as anger, rejection, disappointment, jealousy, or hurt. Trying to push those feelings away will only lead to resentment and anger. So when you are angry about something or someone, the worst thing you can do is try to pretend that you're not. And I get it, we all, well, most of us anyway, are saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, and that's just not of Christ. That's what people like to tell you. Well, the reality is that I love the Lord. I love the Lord with all my heart and soul, but I do get angry from time to time. And every now and then, I may harbor just a little bit of resentment, but I'm not gonna hold on to it long. But the thing is that you have to accept that's how you feel. You have to accept that this person has hurt you, or they've made you feel however they made you feel. Accept it. Don't try to pretend it didn't happen. See, you have these people that want to put on the big head, that's what I like to call it, and act like, oh, nothing bothers me. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You may not accept it, but it does. Stuff bothers all of us. It bothers you, it bothers me, because we all are, this is life. This is life. You cannot get away from it. But I want to encourage you to accept your feelings. Now, I didn't say, just take ownership of it, but accept how you feel. That's what I want you to do. I want you to stop running. Stop running from those feelings. Accept how you feel, because only then can you do something about it. Number 2, figure out what's behind your resentment. Sometimes the cause of your resentment is obvious, and sometimes it's not. It's important to figure out what the issue is so you can start the healing process. And so here's some questions that I want you to ask yourself. I got 3 questions for you. Number 1, when did your feelings of resentment start? Now remember, we're talking about figuring out what's behind your resentment. See, because sometimes people harbor resentment and anger, but they're not even quite sure where it comes from, because they've been dealing with it so long that they don't even really know where it's coming from. And oftentimes as well, they may be angry and have resentment towards you, but in reality, it's coming from somebody else. It has nothing to do with you at all. So I said, ask yourself, when did your feelings of resentment start? Number 2, was it one thing or many things that caused you to feel this way? Number 3, are your feelings directed at one person, or is it several people? Ask yourself those 3 questions. And there may be some other questions that you need to ask yourself so you can really break it down and get to the core of where these feelings are coming from. That's something that only you can figure out. But here are 3 questions that I want you to start with. And again, they'll be in the description box. Because until you figure out what's behind your resentment and that anger, honey, you are going to stay mad forever. That's why it's so important to know where it's coming from. Number 3, create a plan for your future. How you handle your situation can, and most often does, add to your resentment. Making a plan for how you are going to deal with your situation will help to avoid resentment later on. Taking a proactive approach will help you let go of some of the feelings that you're holding on to right now. You've got to create a plan. I don't know about you all, but there are very, very, very few things that I actually do that I don't have a plan for. When I decided I wanted to start my YouTube channel, I had a plan for how I wanted to do that. I had a plan for what I wanted to talk about. I had a plan for how many days I was going to put out content. When I decided that I was going to start my podcast, I had a plan for what my platform was going to be about. I had a plan for when I was going to post. I had a plan for topics that I wanted to talk about. I didn't just jump in and show up and voila, here I am. You've got to have a plan. So just like you plan for those things, you have to have a plan for your future. Because if you don't, hear me closely, if you don't have a plan for your future, I promise you that resentment and that anger is going to leave you stuck right where you are. And what's going to happen is time is going to go by And you're going to find yourself in the same place, and you're going to look around and go, how in the world did that happen? Well, it happened because you had no plan to deal with that resentment, that anger. Number 4, stop your negative thoughts in their tracks. Since your resentment is typically based on past experiences, it's normal to find yourself thinking about old hurts repeatedly. It can be hard changing your thinking pattern, but with practice, it'll get better and easier. So try distracting yourself by calling a friend, taking a walk, or just reading a book. Whatever it takes to stop that resentment in your tracks. Now I know what you're thinking. You said, but Michelle, you said earlier, don't run away from it. No, I'm not. This isn't running away from it. When that resentment and that anger starts to build up in you, you can feel it. We all have been there before. You can feel it. Sometimes just looking at a person can bring on those feelings. But when they do, it's okay to acknowledge it. Like I said earlier, acknowledge it, but then find something else that's going to take your mind off of them. Because again, chances are they're not thinking about you. You getting yourself worked up over somebody that doesn't give a damn about you one way or the other. So when those feelings of resentment come and you think about how much you can't stand this person, how much you would just love for the ground to open up and just swallow them whole while you observe. Yeah, we all have felt that. Come on now. Just distract yourself and go do something else. I don't know about you. It could be, for me, a lot of times it's playing one of my favorite gospel songs. Sometimes it could be calling a friend up. It could be checking my email. It could be going on TikTok to find me a funny video to laugh at. So now my mind and my energy is off of that person or those persons who I'm resenting at the moment and on to something completely different. Number 5, pull out your journal and write down your feelings. Writing is a great way to organize your thoughts, and it can help you get to the root of your resentment. Write down why you resent someone or something, how and why it's affecting you right now. If you know me, then you know I am huge on journaling. I am huge on journaling, which is why I'm starting my own journals. But that's a whole other video for a whole nother time. But I always tell people, when you start to feel a certain kind of way, pull out your journal. Pull out your favorite pen and get to writing. Write down what you feel. In that particular moment, write down what you feel, how you feel, who's making you feel this way. And I promise you, you can work through so much with just pen and paper. So pull out your journals. Because not only will it help you get through whatever you're dealing with, you can also go back later on and see how you were able to overcome that situation. Number 6, find healing ways to release your emotions. So you can do this by by taking a walk, going for a run, taking a yoga class. You can do it through prayer and meditation sessions, or playing a sport that you like. The key is just to find a healthy way to release that. Sitting around drinking and smoking, getting high, just being angry, that's not healthy at all. Find you some healthy outlets to get over that. I promise you, you will thank me for it later. Number 7, talk to a person you what is this? Sometimes y'all can't read my own writing. I said talk to a person that you something or other. Oh, talk to the person that you resent. That's what I was saying. Excuse me, y'all. I said be clear and direct as you use I statements. Make sure you speak assertively to the person or people, and make sure they respect your boundaries. So if you've done something to cause resentment and I'm not liking it, I need to sit down and I need to have a conversation with you. But I'm going to use I say statements. I'm not going to come to you and say, when you said ABCXYZ, you made me feel this way, or you do this and you do that and you do the other. No, I statements. I feel certain kind of way when you say and you do these things. You know, just all I statements. But again, be clear, be direct, and you make sure that they understand that they have to respect your boundaries. If you don't set boundaries, no one's going to make sure to keep those boundaries, because you haven't set any. So they can say and do whatever they want. But when you're talking, make sure you use positive I statements. I feel this way when you say this. I feel that way when you do that or the other. And I promise you, people will take note and respect you so much more. Number 8, set realistic expectations about your outcome. So setting your expectations will leave you, setting unrealistic expectations will leave you feeling disappointed. So it is so important, you guys, that you set realistic expectations. So, you know, you say, okay, well, I'm going to have this talk with Kevin, whoever Kevin may be. And in your mind, you see things going one way. But you know that Kevin can be a very, I'm not even going to say it. Kevin can be a hard nut to crack. Let me just say that. He can be very thick-headed, and you know, Kevin just does what Kevin wants to do and doesn't care about anything or anybody. So don't go approaching Kevin with your I statements thinking that Kevin's going to receive what you're saying and he's going to apologize for the way he treated you or for what he said. Because when he doesn't, you're going to be disappointed. So you need to set realistic goals. Set that realistic goal that says, okay, I'm going to go talk to Kevin. Now, I know how Kevin can be, but I'm going to be okay if he does not apologize. I'm going to be okay because I took the time to let Kevin know how I feel when he says and does what he does. Now, he doesn't have to apologize. You want him to apologize, but he doesn't have to. And chances are he probably won't. But if I set that realistic goal that he's probably not going to, I'm not going to be disappointed when he doesn't, because I've already set myself up to know who Kevin truly is and know that Kevin's not going to really care what I'm saying. But I'm going to feel good because I was able to say it. Okay? And here's your bonus. Forgive the other person or people. It can be hard to do, but honestly, holding on to grudges will only keep you from being able to heal and grow. Plus, when you are unable to forgive others, you only end up stressing yourself out for no reason. I started off this conversation talking about that. As long as I held on to that resentment and that anger, all I was doing was stressing myself. I was shutting the door to other great opportunities, meeting other people, because I allowed that the resentment I had for that individual put me in a place where I didn't want to open myself up to anybody. And I don't know if I've shared this with you all before, but let's say I met you and we hit it off. You know, we go out, we eat, we laugh, we talk, we have a great time hanging out. But if I felt like you were starting to get too close, I was done. Cut it off. I don't call you. I don't return your phone calls. None of that. Because I felt like you were starting to get a little too close to me. And my mind would say, now, Michelle, you remember what happened when you let somebody else get close to you? Is that what you want to happen again? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. So you cut this off right now. And I listened to that inner voice for a long time. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is, whatever resentments that you have, I want you to let them go. Effective today, let it go, because it serves you no purpose to hold on to resentments and anger from people that aren't thinking about you. They don't care about you, and chances are, honey, they don't even remember your last name, if they even remember your first name or the situation at all. So let that stuff go. Stop carrying around unnecessary baggage and stress when you don't need to. Okay? So that's it, y'all. That's my time. Hopefully something I share with you excuse me, resonates with you as you work through your resentment and your anger, because I want you all to be better people. Can I just tell you this real quick, and then I'm going to let y'all be for real? Do you know that as long as you harbor resentment and anger and ill will towards other people, God cannot and will not bless you? And I'm speaking from experience because I've lived that, okay? I know what that feels like. And it was only when I let that stuff go that God started opening up doors for me that I believe he couldn't open up before, because his mindset said, Michelle, until you get rid of this over here, I can't open the door over here because you're not ready for that. Mentally, I was not ready for something new. So many doors have been closed to me, all because I would not let go of anger and resentment, and I don't want that to be you. So if you're experiencing anger and resentment right now, honey, let it go. Let it go. Accept it. Say, Lord, you know what? I forgive, fill in a name, for what they said or what they did or what they didn't do. I forgive them, Lord, not for them, but for me. Release me, oh God, so that I can go on and be the person that you've called me to be. Let that thought never enter my mind again, oh God. Now, I didn't say forget it. I just said don't let it enter your mind so it's not taking over your mental space. And then you thank God and you go on with your life. From that day on, I promise you, you will feel like the weight of the world has been lifted from your shoulders, and you'll be a different person. All you got to do is just let it go. Let it go. So you guys, that's it. That's my time. Hopefully something I said resonates with you and helps you to be able to let go of resentment and anger. Because like I said, it serves you no purpose. So why hold on to it? It serves you no purpose at all. It's just like if I open up a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Once I eat the sandwich, the wrapper serves me no purpose. The purpose of the wrapping was to hold the sandwich together and keep it fresh. But once I've eaten the sandwich, I have no use for that wrapping, so I'm going to throw it away. I don't hold on to things that serve me no purpose. I just don't. And I don't want you to hold on to them either. So, having said that, if you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure you come back tomorrow, where we'll have another motivational topic to talk about. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Whether you're new or this is your 50th time around the sun with me, hit that subscribe button, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. Comment if you like, and because that helps the algorithm. I can't even say that right. The algorithm, and that helps me. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button and you hit that thumbs up button. Because like I said, doing that allows me to get my content out to more people. So I appreciate you all, and I thank you so much in advance for doing that for me. Now, if this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Like I said, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm gonna be in the house working on all the ideas that I've come up with this week. And even if it's just writing them out, I need to get them on paper. But go out there, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Whatever you do so safely. Y'all know I talk about that all the time. Be safe no matter where you go or what you're doing. Please be safe and act responsible, okay? Act responsible. Because I love y'all, and I want y'all to come back here and watch more videos with me. Come out and hang out with me. Let me ask you this. If I were to do a free, yes, I said free, a free live mastermind session, would you all attend? I need to know that. Okay, let me know either in the description box, or you can email. You click on the Linktree link. My email address is there. Email me and let me know. If I do a free mastermind live event, would you all attend? Where we can sit around the table and we can just talk about business. We can talk about things that you want to do, things that you are doing. Maybe they're not working out for you. We're just going to sit and talk about all of that. Me, you, and my coach, Bob, okay? So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Like I said, it's free. Won't cost you a dime. Just let me know. Having said all of that, go out there, you guys. You know the drill. You know the spiel. I love you all to the moon and back, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can do about it. Because I love you. I want nothing but the best for you. I'm always going to be here to push you and to encourage you and to not allow you to give up on yourself. Because I'm not giving up on you, so why are you going to give up on you? Keep pushing forward. Don't give up. The best is yet to come. Love you all. We'll talk again tomorrow.